Hi, Pastor Mark Jeske here for Time of Grace. I don't know if Columbus Day is a big day for you or not. It's maybe a day for some of you to get off of work, or if not, it's a day that your mail doesn't arrive. That's maybe the only way you noticed it. But you know, Columbus Day, when I was a kid, used to be a big deal, and we'd get kind of red, white, and blue fever and celebrate the day when the old world finally touched the new world. But I'll tell you what, in the intervening decades since I was a kid, Columbus Day kind of got a bad rap because people were now much more open about talking about the bad stuff that came with essentially a European invasion of the New World. Because the New World was not able to stand up to an invading army, as it were, that came with horses and worse, with all kinds of diseases to which they had no resistance. It's the coming of the Europeans to the New World is viewed as a disaster for the native peoples who lived here first. And you know, it was a disaster for them. On the other hand, they also brought incredible blessings. They brought foods that the old world never knew, and they brought foods from the new world back to the old. When you look back in Bible times, you see things, for instance, that the people at Jesus' time living in the land of Israel were living under the Roman Empire, basically an invasive species, bringing their Roman legions and their Latin language to the Eastern Mediterranean, where it had not been before. Was that bad for the people of Israel? Yeah, in a sense it was. They lost their independence and were incorporated unwillingly into the Roman Empire. But you know, God uses things like that to advance His kingdom. And the Roman roads, the Roman coinage, the safety of travel, the security brought about by the Roman legions, and a universal language like Latin made it possible for the gospel to spread much more rapidly than it would have without it. When Alexander the Great, who was a Macedonian, a Greek-speaking Macedonian, took his armies far to the east, clear almost all the way to Pakistan today, there was a collision of cultures, but one of the results is that the Greek language, like Latin, became so universally known that when God decided to pick a vehicle for His New Testament, He didn't choose Hebrew, He chose Greek because so many people spoke it. So this Columbus Day, what occurs to me is I want to be mindful and respectful of what it cost for the collision of the two worlds. But also I think going forward, ultimately, the world needs to be together. The world needs to be connected. And the arrival of Christopher Columbus in the New World ultimately has brought a lot more blessing than harm. Just saying. For Time of Grace, I'm Pastor Mark Jeske.